What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a crypto AMA. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear in the markets right now. Let me know how my audio is. I've got a different microphone than we're used to, so I hope I'm not blowing anybody's eardrums out. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Good to see you, Kevin Hawthorne. Yeah, guys. Another boring day at the lows in crypto. So should you be scared? Should you panic? Absolutely not. This is the time to be prepared, okay? This is the time to be prepared because think about a future where crypto is not bigger than it is today. It's not going anywhere, okay? This whole crypto thing, it's like a quiet revolution. You know, it doesn't need to be violent, right? There might be some violence in the USA, you know, or worldwide. This one guy, this YouTuber keeps predicting a civil war, which I find very interesting. And although I don't want to speak that into existence, I find it very interesting that coming up to the election season, there seems to be a lot of anger from one side to another. A lot of hate. Only on the extremes, really. I think, 90% of people are pretty normal, pretty good, and just want to get by, and we have a lot more in common than we think. But crypto transcends all this political identity politics BS. Don't fall for any kind of psyops, right? They might try to psyop you that crypto is bad, crypto is somehow for, money laundering and terrorist financing, illicit finance. It's the same thing they said about the internet. It's the same exact thing that late adopters said about the internet. See, old people or people that are stuck in their ways, people that are not open-minded, kind of the dumb people, right? They don't understand crypto, so they're afraid of it. It's that simple, right? They think it's a control thing. Because what does crypto threaten? Crypto threatens the central financial banking system. The centralized system is completely at threat if everybody is educated on how to hold their own private keys, transact with their own money, and one day, 10 years from now, everybody could be using crypto or at least respecting the value of crypto. And then how is the IRS going to tax that? How are people going to keep buying the dollar if there's a store of value that holds its value compared to the dollar 1,000,000 times better? Bitcoin, Ethereum, PulseChain, HEX. These are real decentralized cryptos. A lot of fake crypto out there. USDC, US dollar coin from Circle. It's just a digital dollar. That's your new CBDC. Totally centralized. Guess what? With Circle, with Tether, there's a function where somebody can literally blacklist an address and stop them from transacting. That doesn't sound like very free, borderless, peer-to-peer digital money that crypto is supposed to be. Crypto is supposed to get rid of middlemen, store value, enhance your freedom, your quality of life, and get around corruption, okay? Removing middlemen, what does that even mean? What does removing middlemen even mean, right? Because we say it all the time. Middlemen are corrupt. Middlemen are incompetent. And when your banking system, your banking app, I'm sure you've ran into problems before, and just because you haven't ran into problems yet doesn't mean you won't in the future. Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, these are centralized companies that if they don't like who you're sending your money to or how much money you're trying to send, they'll shut you off, they'll impose limits, they have terrible customer service, they're only open from 9 to 5, you actually have to talk to a human. Crypto is 24/7, nonstop, free, peer-to-peer, but you have to get the real stuff, You got to get the real crypto that doesn't have a central, some people call it an admin key, ownership permissions. Because a lot of people, they say, oh, it's decentralized enough. All these layer 2s, one single sequencer to roll up to the chain. If that guy messes up or decides to censor people, that's probably within their control. All these layer 2s are not the solution. They're not real crypto. They're just little side pools because Ethereum got too full. So everyone's going on a centralized layer 2 to do other, whatever they're doing. Pump.fun, a Pump.fun spinoff or whatever. Meme coin trading is most of the degen stuff I'm seeing these days. I mean, they will get more usage in the future. They're going to end up probably being application specific, right? So if you want your GMX, you want your leverage trading platform to run efficiently, it'll probably have its own layer 2, isolated just for that thing, and you'll have to accept those risks. And it doesn't really fix much if there's still a risk of going down or not being able to roll back up to the main chain. So PulseChain, Ethereum, these are layer 1 blockchains. Decentralized nodes all around the world run by individuals and groups and pools, right? We're going to have pooled staking very soon. Check out vouch.run. Check out projectpi.xyz. A lot of liquid staking derivatives were very successful on Ethereum. They are coming to PulseChain as well. That's pretty cool. But getting back to why layer ones are important, decentralized nodes, you can't knock on everyone's door across the world. In every single different country, there's a node running the PulseChain software, running the Ethereum software, running the Bitcoin software. And so, politics aside, both parties, both sides, left and right, should want a free currency. You should want to get into the fastest appreciating asset class of all time. Because not only does it enhances your freedom, your quality of life, no one can take it away from you. Let's say you don't even care about that because you just sit around and you just watch Netflix all day and you have the most boring life ever. You're just an NPC, and why would anybody want to censor me? Okay, fair. But did you know that your inflation, your purchasing power, is also being inflated away at an astronomical rate? Your grocery bill is 3 to 4 times higher than it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Inflation's insane. How much more money did you make in the last 2 years at your 9 to 5, right? A lot of people in these white-collar jobs, these tech jobs, you're working super hard, you get a promotion. Congrats, you got a 20% promotion after 2 years. But all the prices doubled. So your 20% is not enough to keep up with the doubling of the cost of rent, oil, food, goods and services. It's going up. Crypto is the life raft, right? It's Noah's Ark. It's Noah's Ark for finance, everybody. I saw a good meme from Hexologist the other day. It was like Richard Hart taking 2 of every coin on the Ark. Solid meme. Well done. Hey, Fox Mulder. Nice. Good to see you. Team RH Staker, what's up? Dixon Cider. Fast Abdul's in the chat. Red Squirrel. Mads Peterson, I remember you. Dixon Cider. Gary ain't it, bro. Yeah, man. Look, all this stuff, though, even in the worst case scenario, right? Dixon Cider is talking about the fact that Kamala Harris said she would appoint Gary Gensler, the semen demon, to Treasury chair, right? Right now, this guy is the SEC chairman, and he's been the most incompetent. I don't know if it's corruption or incompetence, probably both. Definitely incompetence. And he's basically been super restrictive to crypto innovation in the USA because they've sued almost everybody that did something successful. Coinbase, Ripple, Richard Hart, HEX PulseChain. That's a big one. It's ongoing. Very important. I think Richard's going to win it. They barked up the wrong tree on that one. But look, they're suing Justin Sun, Kraken. They've sued Gemini, I think. And they sent him a Wells notice. I can't even keep up. They sued Robinhood, or they sent Robinhood a Wells notice the other day. They're going after everybody for arbitrary rules that don't really exist. They're trying to enforce the Howey test, which is almost 100 years old at this point. It's basically a test that governs securities laws. That's a 100-year-old test that does not apply or should not apply to this brand new asset class, cryptocurrency, digital assets that have never existed before. So Congress can't even really agree on how to approach it. Congress, some people are saying, oh, the CFTC should regulate it. The SEC should regulate it. Or the FTC, maybe the FTC. So nobody knows. Nobody can agree. Even in Congress, a lot of Congress is they're very, very frustrated with Mr. Gary Gensler because he's not letting people innovate. Imagine if America fucks this up. Imagine if America does what China did to the internet and stifles all the innovation, basically all the ideas, all the entrepreneurship still in the world, still today. Say what you want about America. A lot of the new inventions in the world come from America, especially in tech. If we mess that up, like China has the Great Firewall of China, right? Their internet is very restrictive. They take a lot of the ideas that work in the USA and they copy them. Like Samsung, all these things not Samsung, what is it? Huawei. All their smartphones, right? We did it first. America did it first. We're pioneers, and we're going to lose that position if, cryptocurrency is stifled. But my point was, I'm not sure if that is that's a fear-mongering technique or tactic that, Kamala's going to appoint Gary Gensler. I mean, look on the bright side. At least he's not going to be in charge of the SEC, right? At least she's still going to move him around to a different position. And the Secretary of Treasury, as far as I know, doesn't really intervene much in crypto at all. The FTC, the CFTC, and the SEC seem to do all the regulations. So, yeah, go put him over in the Treasury. Go put him in the basement there. Just put him in the basement with his stapler, and maybe we won't have to hear about him. We shouldn't even know who he is. If he was doing a good job, we wouldn't know his name, Gary Gensler. But he is basically public enemy number one of crypto, right next to Elizabeth Warren, who just, I mean, basically she's the Karen of crypto. She can't seem to get her head around it. You know, kind of thinks new thing bad, right? It's that old calcified mentality. Prince. But yeah, you know, I'm not as scared of Gary is my point, right? This news, it's basically a soundbite, and it gets a lot of clicks on social media. Regardless of who wins the election, although it might cause a lot of infighting, culture wars, dare I say civil war, hope not, be prepared for it anyway. The government's still going to print money either way. They're still going to have to increase the debt to buy their way out of, all the bad press worldwide. So is it going to stop the money printing, whether or not Kamala or Trump gets elected? I don't think so. I think in the very short term, Kamala would be very short term bad, but, money printing, guys. Money printing supersedes all of this, right? I mean, Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell, they work at the Federal Reserve. They're going to have to probably decrease the interest rates, which is, again, usually short-term bearish, long-term bullish for markets. They're going to have to do bond buybacks, right? Quantitative tightening, or easing, rather. They're going to have to get back to quantitative easing eventually. They're going to have to get back to, they might call it yield curve control, which you can read as money printer go burr. Just use ChatGPT, learn about it. It's happening right away, right in front of your eyes. And it's been happening for the past 10, 20 years, but it's happening faster than it ever has before. That's why crypto's the way out. Your quality of life, no matter who you are, blue collar, white collar, it's probably even worse for blue collar. It's probably worse for people that, without college degrees and all that. Because at least white collar has some level of cushiness to their BS jobs. I would know. I used to work white collar. But your dollar is taxed to no end, and there's not a whole lot of opportunity like there was, decades ago. Look at The Simpsons, right? The Simpsons is a famous meme. This guy, he's kind of dumb. He's an alcoholic. I'm talking about Homer Simpson. And he still manages to raise a family of 5, 2 girls, 1 boy, has a wife, has an okay job at the nuclear plant. And that was the 70s, I think, or the 80s maybe. So that was actually still possible. It's a funny show because it's indicative of the times, right? He had a whole house with a 2-car garage, and he was kind of an idiot, right? So even an idiot could make it in America back in those days. Now it's getting harder and harder. The wealth gap is getting more and more pronounced, and people are feeling it. People are feeling it in all kinds of ways. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. This happens over time anyway, but it's happening right now. So you've got a possible revolution socially, right? Could be violent. I hope not. But when you look at cryptocurrency, it's the non-violent revolution. It's the quiet revolution because, again, both sides should need it as an escape raft because there's no politician coming to save you, right? There's no single guy that's going to have all the answers. Or woman. No man or woman. The politicians just care about getting reelected and increasing their power. Some of them care about certain issues more than others, but a lot of them are bought out and paid for by private interests. And so you have to take it upon yourself, right? There's no mommy or daddies coming to save you. So don't get caught up in the left or right psyop if you can, right? I'm going to vote for whoever is... Actually, I can't even vote. I'm a Puerto Rico resident. Can you believe that, guys? Puerto Rico residents cannot vote for USA politics. All I can do is try to give you guys the knowledge to make your own decisions. Fox Mulder says most boring market ever, just chop and more chop. Dude, it's boring as hell. It's real boring right now. Real boring, but it's also really quiet. I don't know if you noticed, but the SEC dip. Let me pull up a screen share. Guys. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about the PulseChain timeline. We're going to go to dexscreener.com. If you guys haven't been to dexscreener.com, it gives you all the on-chain charts. So, one of my favorite places. WPLS DAI, $27 million of liquidity. That's about $14 million of stablecoin liquidity on the DAI pair. Let's zoom out. Always zoom out on the chart. Never use the 15-minute. What are you guys doing? Come on, you know better than that. All right, so this first dip right here, I'll draw an arrow. Where's my little arrow? Arrow. So this one right here, guys, this blue line right here, this giant dip, it was like 60% dip in 2 days. That was from the SEC scare, the SEC FUD. And we had a pretty good recovery. Times were pretty good in March. Okay, a lot of things were pumping. PulseChain was pumping. But this latest 5 months, we've had another dip. Guys, we've had another dip. 5 months. Terrible, boring, soul-crushing dip. Just annihilating everybody. But I will tell you something about this, guys. We're going to make this one. We're going to make this one red, and we're going to make this one green. All right, what's different about this latest dip? What do you notice? Well, first of all, it's more dragged out. It's still pretty round, right? Still a pretty round shape. But look at the volume. We've retested the lows on so much lower volume, meaning I remember back here in August of last year, people were screaming, yelling, death threats. Of course, you always get the death threats when you're public. People were mad at each other, and it was just every single day on Twitter for months. It's, okay, who are we going after today? Who are we all pissed off at today? Of course, it's everyone else's fault, right? It's never your own fault, right? The people always wanting to blame others. Maybe look in a mirror, make your own decisions, and we're all adults here. We can all take responsibility, but I'm not giving up on PulseChain at all. So I hope you guys know that, and there's hundreds, thousands more of us that agree that we're going to ride this thing to the moon when the time comes, when Ethereum has its pump. But look at the last one compared to this one. We went from anger to basically boredom. We went from anger to boredom, and it's only when everybody gives up, because anger is still an emotion. You know what I mean? Anger is still a feeling, a strong desire for things to go up. People care a lot. They talk a lot. Now they're done even talking. Now it's just like, I don't want to speak for everybody, but the vibe I get on crypto Twitter, the vibe I get on YouTube streams, people are building. They always have been, but it's easier to build when things are quiet. And when it's all calm before the storm, a lot of people are getting things done. Shout out to zeroxcoast.com. New crypto exchange just for PulseChain got built in this 5-month lag, in this 5-month dump. Okay. But only when the last person has sold can we start going back up again. Somebody will be that person, right? And we've seen people get washed out for this past 5 to 6 months, ever since March, right? March, that's about 5.5 months. Okay. 5.5 months of down only. But notice how this line's getting pretty flat. Notice how this line is getting flat. This line is getting flat, sorry. It signals boredom. It signals that people are done. And boredom is actually better for a reversal, right? You can't have boredom when there's still angry people begging. There's I posted a chart the other day, which stage of grief are we in? It's kind of meant as a joke because everyone's always saying, oh, which stage of the cycle are we in? What stage of the cycle are we in? Oh my God, I need to know every single day, every 5 minutes. What stage of the cycle are we in? Take a step back, detach yourself. Detachment is a really important skill for long-term holding in crypto. You got to detach yourself. The whole thesis has not changed. Nothing has changed. More people are going to adopt crypto in the future. PulseChain is truly decentralized. HEX is truly decentralized. It's cheaper and faster than Ethereum. HEX does things that Bitcoin cannot do. You can time lock it for yield. It's got a staking system. It's got a huge community. We're locked in for an average of 7 years. It's remarkable. It's like no other organic community I've ever seen in crypto. Unlike a lot of this stuff that's basically getting marketed to you. A lot of these coins, they're getting shilled to you, like Starkware or like ZK, EVM. They got insider VCs that bought early. They bought before the chart even existed, before we even had a price chart. And they're funneling marketing dollars, and they're buying out paid influencers. I'm not for sale, but they're buying out paid influencers to tell you that the good tech coins are the good ones, because if you feel smart after we teach you about all the latest crazy tech, you'll buy the coin. But good tech is not what makes number go up. VC funding is not what makes a number go up. So be careful of falling for this trap. It's a retail trap of, oh, if the VCs bought it, they must know something I don't. Wrong. They're the ones dumping on you. They are the ones dumping on you. The only thing they know that you don't is they got in earlier, and they could take whatever narrative floats your boat. And it happens when you're brand new to crypto, right? It happened to me in 2017. It happened to me because I was reading all these white papers. I thought I was doing my own research, right? Look at all these white papers. Wow, I feel so smart. All the jargon, all the complicated words. In 2017, it was all just vaporware anyway. But even nowadays, you could have some cool new tech angle, but nobody's going to care or use it unless it's the right time and it catches the right cultural wave. It's an attention economy. So you can, propaganda people to care for a little bit and buy your bag. But we've got 40, 50 blockchains out there, 30 of them like layer 2s, probably way more. I'm just talking about the ones that get usage. And a lot of them aren't going to be here in 5-10 years. I think PulseChain will be. So I'm just betting on the ones that are going to stand the test of time. I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. But Bitcoin, you're lucky if it goes double from here. 120K Bitcoin would be great, but I'm not in this for a double. I'm in this for 100x or more. I'm in this for the tens to hundreds of X's. And I think a lot of you guys should be too. Think about how high this could go. And think about how limited Bitcoin can go. If Bitcoin's 15 years old, look, say what you want. Bitcoin's great. We wouldn't be here without Bitcoin. But even if everything goes amazingly well and Bitcoin hits 250K, from here, that's a 4x. So, all right, let's say you got 50 grand. You make a 4x, you got 200 grand. That's life-changing, but it's not like permanently life-changing. You could spend 200 grand pretty quickly, and then you'll be right back to square one. So just try to ride the things that can stand the test of time. They've got a good community, good founder. Oh, and the founder's coming back, by the way. The founder's not going anywhere. Founder's definitely not going anywhere, guys. People think, people outside the know. I mean, this is actually, a lot of people watching know this already, but it's kind of insider info that Richard Hart is still around. He's still around. He's planning on winning his case. His lawyers are extremely confident. He's extremely confident. I mean, think about what he did, right? The guy literally posts on Twitter, "We will win. I have 11 lawyers, 5 law firms. Some of them used to work at the SEC. They're heavy hitters. He's got a bunch of money, not only from his early Bitcoin, but from his early Ethereum and from the sacrifice. So he's a billionaire. When you can't buy anything else, what do you want? He gives it away, guys. Remember the Highest of Stakes movie? He literally says, "I'm not in this for money." It's like telling the world this. And people somehow still think he's in this for money, like he's going to dump it all or run away. He says he's in this for glory. I mean, do you think that he changed his mind just because you haven't heard from him? On Christmas, he made a video. I think that was the last video he made. But he had to make it all weird and cryptic, right? He had to post an MP4 file hosted on some website or something. And he had this weird cryptic tweet. And then, basically what's happening is there's an unofficial gag order. When you have a bunch of lawyers working for you to combat the SEC, they're probably going to tell you, hey, don't open your mouth on the internet because everything you say can be used against you by the opposition. So that's where he's at. I mean, he wants to talk. He tried to get that video in on Christmas, and he had to do it in such a weird, convoluted way. He couldn't even live stream it. So, we're actually lucky, too, that the SEC's case was so poorly written, because now that's set in stone. They can't really change it at this point. We're lucky that they didn't actually use better arguments. Their arguments are pretty shit. If you actually read the case against Richard Hart, and also they're trying to sue HEX software, that kind of just gives you an idea of the absurdity of this whole thing. It's like the absurdity of the control mechanism in modern society, where the SEC thinks they can sue a piece of code. What are you expecting the code to walk into the courthouse to defend itself? I mean, it's an anomaly. I don't think it's ever happened before where the SEC sues a piece of decentralized code with no off switch. And it also really telegraphs how incompetent they are, how much they misunderstand what crypto is. PulseChain's not a company to sue. HEX is not a company. They're trying to say unincorporated alter egos. It's not true at all. It's a piece of code. But where was I? Gary ain't it, bro? Oh yeah, talking about Gary. Yeah, fix the money, fix the world. I agree. I lost my train of thought, but I'm going to go back to the chat. Imagine putting your bag in Pulse and HEX and missing the entire cycle. Lol. Well, have fun, bro. Maybe you should sell your bags. I don't even know. If you actually think that's going to happen, dump it, dude. We'll go up without you. Crypto Black Sheep. What's up, Crypto Black Sheep? How you doing? Good to see you. Crypto Black Sheep's an OG. He's got the GOAT protocol, and he's got NFT. He's working with David Feeder to do decentralized NFT validators for PulseChain. Oh, shit. My screen fell. There we go. Simpsons came out late 80s. Oh, thanks, dude. So even in the late 80s, the American dream was all right. What's up, Coffee? My question is, does loan token become more scarce as time passes? Thank you, great show. I believe there is a limited amount of loan token that will ever exist. So from the total emissions, loan token will eventually stop being printed, but it's gonna keep being printed on an emission schedule for the next like 5 or 10, I think 10 years. I think it's 10 years, maybe 15. You might want to ask in the Liquid Loans Telegram. And I believe the emissions will slow down over time as well, right? Like the APY will slowly drip out slower and slower to like an asymptote. So it will become more scarce if you look at it like that. Like one day the emissions will stop, and like in 5 years the emissions will be slower than they are today. I think it's the same thing with Earn protocol and Flex protocol too. Let's see what's going on here. PulseChain for life, baby. Where did I get this shirt from? Where did I get this shirt from? God damn it. I made a video about it, but I can't remember the URL. It's like, it's not pulseakin.store. It's not hex.merch. It was this guy, Damien. Or I think his name was Damien. I don't know. He sent it to me. He's got a store. Damn. I wish I could remember the name of the store, dude. Sorry, but I like it. This is my streaming uniform. Mindspeak and Woodnox. What does that mean? PLS Ecosystem's balls are so fat that it's about to explode. Hell yeah. It's got some big old balls. Hello, everyone. Listening while working. Cool. Angry Bears. We got Angry Bears in the chat. Uh-oh. PulseChain is the only blockchain that's not owned by venture capitalists and insiders. Well, yeah, I mean, you could think of the sacrificers as the insiders, right? But that was that was basically a public phase. It was 14 days. We were very loud about it in 2021. It was in July of 2021, I think. We were very loud. So, I mean, if you were in crypto in 2021, you probably heard about the PulseChain sacrifice phase. So, yeah, I mean, it was much more fair than you could say VC insiders putting millions of dollars up front and owning 40% of the coins. That's how most of these things go. But also when you have a public raise or a sacrifice to a bunch of retail, you also get a lot of weak hands, right? So you got to shake out all these weak hands. That's what you're seeing on the graph here. You got to shake out all the weak hands from the sacrifice phase that we're expecting to go straight up and to the right over, 6 months. They thought they'd get rich overnight. It's really a long-term game. And it does suck to wait, but crypto's the way out. It's a life raft, and I'd rather be holding. I hold some Ethereum, okay, but I'd rather be holding something with even the potential for 1000x. If PulseChain has the potential for 1000x, then even if it has lackluster gains, even if it underperforms, it could still do a 50x. It could still kick the shit out of Ethereum or Bitcoin in terms of gains, okay? And gains are what people care about. Price is what people care about. They only want to buy it because they think the number's going to go up. But luckily, when the time comes where they actually need it for the censorship resistance, hopefully by that time you'll have a self-hosted wallet. That's not a great term, is it? A personal wallet, a personal crypto wallet. John Bishop says, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Al Mudathir says, what do I think about Titan X? I think You know, there's a project coming out for Titan X called Pulsar. I have no idea when it's going to launch, but I feel like it pumped a little bit lately, maybe because people are speculating that it might launch soon. They won't tell you when it's going to launch, but it's basically a way to bridge some of that Titan X value to a coin back on PulseChain. So if anybody did get trapped in that Titan X, down only chart, I mean, it looks like it's down only, right? But these upcoming projects might temporarily revive it, and then you can make a decision, right? Do you want to dump it all and just get out? If you feel like you were trapped or whatever, and you just want to exit, there might be a pump in the near term because it just pumped a little bit. You might be able to use some of these new protocols to roll it into another coin, but personally, I would just get out of it, back into Ethereum. That's my plan. Get back into Ethereum. Well, I mean, everyone can do their own thing. Not financial advice, of course. I'm just telling you how I see it. It reminds me of the Zen protocol. I mean, some people are going to hate this, right? Because that protocol was basically building an airplane while it was already in flight. Zen was like, oh, we have an inflation bug built into the code. Anyone can just keep inflating this coin away. Let's make 10 other protocols to make it more scarce. We'll invent all these Rube Goldberg machines to burn it and buy and burn it and do all this crazy stuff, convert this coin for that coin and earn yield from this coin. Really, it's just fractionalizing the attention until there's nothing left. If you fractionalize the attention too much, eventually there will be nothing left. We even saw that this is also a hurdle that PulseChain's trying to overcome. PulseChain, HEX used to be a single coin ecosystem. PulseChain, now if you're a Richard Hart only fan, you've got 4 tokens. You've got HEX, PLS, PLSX, and INC. So you can make the argument that the buy pressure is being split between 4 coins, 3 or 4 coins. The attention is being split between 3 or 4. It's harder to just pump one only. Now, because everything is connected to PulseChain and liquidity, I'm a fan of rallying behind PLS primarily first, because if PLS goes up, then your little coin, your side project, your meme coin, it can go up by virtue of being associated in liquidity to PulseChain. So if you have to focus on one thing, I say focus on the ecosystem coin, which is PulseChain. But that's a problem with projects that do that too much, and they keep trying to plug the holes in the sinking ship with another meme coin, another shit coin. So I don't really love projects like that. They're kind of lame. My boomer father loves showing me his 4-month stock charts and telling me how he thought about buying but never did. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that, don't they? Oh yeah, I was about to buy it, but I didn't. Hope he is well enough to see one of my 15-year stakes in the future, lol. Yeah, me too, man. I hope my dad is also around. I think he will be. They're staying healthy. My parents are staying healthy. I really like that. So yeah, they'll probably be around for those 15-year stakes. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks, Charles Stone. How you doing, man? Hola from Washington, D.C. The community is just amazing. Hola, Miguel. Will PulseX do a 30x from sack rate? Very possible. Very possible. You know what? I've got something for you. I've got just the thing for you. We're gonna ask the Magic 8 Ball. A lot of people don't know, but this is better than any technical analysis in the game. This right here, this Magic 8 Ball, it is the pinnacle of crypto predictions. So we're going to ask it, if PulseChain is going to do a 30x from sack rate. Cannot predict now. Fuck off, Magic 8 Ball. Tell me what I want to hear. The cool thing about the Magic 8 Ball is you can roll it until you hear what you want to hear. It's advanced technology. Yes! Look at that. Yes. Yes. Boom. Let me see. Come on. Show the camera. Don't be shy. Yes. All right. Whatever. 140% APR farming bridged Sol on 2 fucks. Thank you for the TRY. 140% APR on Solana right now, guys. Yeah, if you have gains in Solana, maybe you're partially allocated to Solana, check out my last video. It's a really good way. 80% Solana, 20% PulseChain exposure, and you're getting paid 140% APY right now. If you've got, 4 4 or 5 figures, maybe 6 figures worth of Solana, consider the fact that Solana already went up a lot, the fact that PulseChain hasn't gone up at all yet, and consider reallocating to get some exposure to the thing that has not pumped yet. And you still get to, and you still get to keep most of the thing that you like if you like Solana. Thank you so much, Fast Abdul. Appreciate that. RG says Zen is confusing as hell. Yeah, I mean, people like all that complicated Rube Goldberg machine shit until they don't. Until the bear market or until the prices are suppressed, people just stop caring, right? It's you can Google reloading scam, which I know these people building don't think that their thing is a scam, right? They actually don't think it's a scam. They think they're building something really cool and innovative. But when you keep having to put a new carrot in front on a stick to keep the horse, basically, yeah, you just have to keep building new stuff. You're only going to get a fraction of the people that were in the previous thing. So let's say you have a cohort of 10,000 people in Zen, and Zen is, just free falling down, red candles only. And you got to make this new project, and maybe that captures 5,000 people. And then you make a new project that captures 2,500 of those original people. And it goes down and down and down until there's basically nobody left. 1 billion tether printed. Does that mean anything to me? Yes, it does. I did tweet about that about a week ago. 1 billion tether. Why is that important, guys? Why is 1 billion tether important? Because it's money on chain. They're moving dollars on chain because there's demand for dollars. Why is there demand for dollars? Because people want to buy shit. Because the dollar's weakening. The DXY is down as of today. It's down a little bit. Global liquidity is on a cusp up. Global liquidity seems to be doing a reversal. The Fed is going to lower rates at some point. And with the liquidity cycle coming in, the 65-month liquidity cycle, you could even take that into account. 1 billion tether printed. I think that all went to the Tron blockchain, if I remember correctly. I think that all went to Tron. Either way, it's a signal that people want to buy stuff. People want to buy stuff on chain. And when people demand, when people are feeling that they want to go risk on because the dollar's not strong anymore and they want assets that are yielding them returns, they're going to get into crypto as one of those assets. And if all crypto really needs to do is capture such a small fraction of global liquidity to go astronomically high. Maddie Klatt says, hi from Germany. Coffee, can you talk a bit about farming on PulseChain opportunities and risks? Yeah, farming on PulseChain, sure. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the screen. Farming on PulseChain. If you go to app.pulsex.com, the risks are basically that you have impermanent loss. You guys know what impermanent loss is. I've got videos about it too. Make sure to watch my old videos, but you can make these crazy high yields. Look, 11%, 50%, 60% almost on stable coins. So if you've got 50 grand of DAI and you pair that with 50 grand of Ethereum, okay, and you stick it in this DAI Ethereum pair, if the price of INC stayed exactly the same, by the end of the year you'd make $56,970. It's a shit ton of money just in the form of yield alone. Now, what happens if Pulse goes up relative to dollars and you're locked in this DAI Ethereum, DAI Pulse pair? Well, you're going to end up with less Pulse and more dollars. But if that's what you wanted to do, effectively, it's basically like you're scaling out of PulseChain, right? It's as if you're scaling out of Pulse and back into dollars. So it's a very attractive place to be for some people for the bull market. Right? If you just want to ride the wave up and, be a little bit of if you're a bigger whale, this is a really good way to scale into and out of PulseChain without hurting the price too much. Because if you're trying to get $1 million into PulseChain and you want to just buy 1 million on the market, you're going to eat a lot of slippage. But what if you want to sell when it's worth 100 million? There might not be that many hundreds of millions in liquidity. So it's more important for your exit that you plan. If you're a bigger whale, right, if you've got 6 figures or above, and you intend on that being, 10x higher price one day, well, rather than have to market dump that, if you're sitting in this DAI PLS pair, this is particularly only for the stablecoin pairs with Pulse, you're going to be earning stablecoins as the price of Pulse goes up relative because you're getting more of the less popular coin, less of the more popular coin. Everyone's giving you, they're selling their DAI for Pulse. Thus, you're taking the other side of the trade. You are taking their DAI and giving them your Pulse. So it's also the APY is totally dependent on the price of INC token as well. If INC token doubles, shit, you could be making 100% APY. Literally, it's that crazy. That's why I talk about this over and over, because I think this opportunity is incredible. And there's other places you can get yield on your coins too. You can go to fux.io. You can go to 2fux.io. And you can go to 9inch. 9inch has some pretty good farms as well. 9inch.io. Check them out. Those are kind of the three big ones. Oh, sparkswap.xyz. That's got some good yield farms as well. If you like yield and you want to park your assets here, not only are you getting paid to be exposed to the two coins in the pair, but you're also earning INC the whole time. Or you're also slowly exiting if you're in one of these stablecoin pairs. It's a way to dump your coins without hurting the market. Now, let's say you're in the PulseX PLS pair, or you're in the HEX PLS pair. The thing you have to worry about there is the ratio that you got in at. So if you get in to PulseX Pulse at a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 PulseX for every 1 Pulse, then by the time you pull out, in order to make your impermanent loss 0, you'd want to pull out 1 or 2 or 3 years down the line when the ratio goes back to 2-to-1. Because if you pull it out at a 3-to-1 ratio, all of a sudden, now you've got more PulseX, but PulseX is worth less than Pulse. See, so with the ratios, with 2 regular coins, not stable coins, it's different, right? With a PulseX Pulse pair, INC Pulse pair, HEX Pulse pair, I guess Ethereum Pulse as well. That one's a little more complicated. You'd want to stick in your liquidity, write down on a piece of paper what the ratio is in terms of Pulse to PulseX, and then when you take it out, ideally, you're not going to get it perfect. No one's going to get it exactly perfect, but you know, if you put it in at 2-to-1, you're going to want to pull it out at around 2-to-1. Maybe it's 1.9-to-1. Maybe it's 2.1-to-1. But you want to get close enough. Damien says excuses are already coming out. I smell the expectations are disappointment. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are probably pretty frustrated, but it's a long-term game. Jose Cuervo says, hola, crypto, coffee, and community. Hang in there, guys. Yep, Jose Cuervo, that's right. Oh, hey, $2. Big woo. Thoughts on True 2X? I have no idea what that is. It's probably a shit coin. I probably don't want to talk about it. Just the name itself. Let's see. Is it even on PulseChain? It's not even on here, dude. I can't even look at your coin because it's not even on. So, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But thanks for the tip, sir. Thoughts on... Yeah, no. I have zero thoughts on it. Again, but thanks for the tip. Haha, 8-ball for the win. Have we seen the RH bottom? Look, I don't want to say the bottom is in for sure. But this time around, getting back to a new low. Getting back to a new low with less volume and less anger, less hatred. And with the election season right around the corner, with them printing money again, they're going to do yield curve control. They've already talked about it. Pumping billions for buying back bonds. Strategically, of course. And just wars. I hate to say wars. But yeah, wars make money printer go burr. And there's global conflicts in Ukraine and Israel-Palestine. So, last time I heard, Janet Yellen was saying, we've got tons of extra money to fund these wars. We've got plenty of extra money for Ukraine. It's not a problem at all. So, they don't seem to care. Now, the debt to GDP ratio is, I think, over 1-to-1, meaning we now have more debt than we have GDP. And GDP isn't even always the best indicator of quality of life anyway. We could have GDP rising, but people's quality of life is still getting lower because GDP only measures certain things. It doesn't measure quality of life. So we've got a big problem here. But as the volatility of the money printer screws up the country or the globe, there can be hopefully a peaceful exit to a better asset class that puts you in control. Self-sovereign, digital, peer-to-peer money, crypto, real crypto. You have a choice to get in now or continue to have your purchasing power be stolen from you and buy in 10 years when everyone else already bought. When it feels good to buy crypto, it's too late to buy crypto. When it feels good to buy PulseChain, it'll be too late. All the gains will be gone. Mark my words. This is how things go. This is how all of the coins go that go up in price over time. People will always kick themselves because they didn't buy early. But then when the time was to buy, which is, all-time low right now, they couldn't do it. Or maybe they sold the bottom. Google it. It's not a coin. Neil for T-shares made it. Oh, okay. Sorry, Big Woo. Well, let me Google this on a separate browser. True2x. True2x, a developer of DeFi protocols on PulseChain automation, DeFi mining tool to double your PLS. I don't know about this. I'm going to have to look into it. DeFi Academy, white paper, light paper. Look, I can't read a white paper on stream right now, but I'll look into it. Yeah, I got to read about stuff before and make a decision on that. Sandy Beach says, "Hey, Coffee, everyone, good to see you live." DeFi Crypto Alliance says, "I bought last week and I feel like shit." Yep. Welcome to crypto. I bought last 2 weeks ago as well. I put another 5-figure chunk into Ethereum. I DCA'd my way down on Ethereum. I bought once at 3,400 and again at 2,400. So maybe 2,300. Anyway, I'm not down. I'm not totally wrecked because I averaged it out, but I'm sticking a lot of Ethereum right now into PLS Ethereum yield farms. 34% APY. It's pretty good. It doesn't feel good. Absolutely. All right, Big Woo. Yeah, I'll read about it, bro. I'll read about it. Is there any way to stake PulseX? Hold on. There's something in the way here. Is there any way to stake Pulse? Mean no liquidity providing, just plain stake? Yeah. So what you're talking about is being a validator. You can go to validatorstore.com. Let me show you guys this. If you want to earn like 9.8% APY, validatorstore.com. If you want to run your own node, you can talk to David Feeder, friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He created Validator Store, and you've got all these tutorials where you can learn how to do it for free if you're comfortable with a little bit of command line, a little bit of, if you have an isolated crypto-only computer. And if you want to buy your own computer, he sells them right here for about $2,000. It's got all you need. It's got the mouse, the keyboard, the portable monitor, and a pretty heavy computer here. i7 processor, 64 gigs of RAM, 4 terabyte hard drive, 15-inch monitor, all this stuff for $2,000, and a USB stick with Ubuntu. Makes it very easy. I actually bought his computer, but if you have an existing one, all you really need is, I think you need a minimum of 16 gigabytes of RAM, but you should probably try like 32 if possible. You need a lot more than 1 terabyte because the blockchain just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So you're going to want to not worry about storage. So you could buy one of these for $2,000 and then start making yield right away. You could use a computer that you already have. But what you're going to want to do is go here and learn about how to run all the programs, because you basically just have to run like 3 programs on the command line. And then you can head over to, beacon.pulsechain.com. Beacon.pulsechain.com. I'm trying to find the current APY that it's paying out. Is this it? No. Dashboard. Charts. What is the APY? Is it still 9.8%? Let's see. I don't even remember the website anymore. Validator? PulseChain Validator. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's about 9 or 10% APY that you're going to earn. And again, you can use your existing computer if you have one, but you could just buy one here. And pretty soon there's going to be There's two big projects coming out. Vouch.run. Vouch.run is coming out pretty soon. It's a liquid staking derivative. There's also Project Pi, projectpi.xyz. So let me show you Project Pi. This is for the lazy people. I might actually do this. This is for the non-technical people. If you just want to press a button and stake some pulse, you can basically pool your pulse together with a whole bunch of other people. That's what liquid staking derivatives are. They give you a representative token that represents that you have this much PulseChain being staked. It's like Lido for Ethereum, or Rocket Pool for Ethereum, or Ether.fi, or there's like 10 others. There's so many of them on Ethereum because people like them. But look, if you launch the app here, Project Pi, you could become a validator with Pi pools, or you could just, it's still in beta right now. It's still in beta, but when this project launches, you can go ahead and pool your PulseChain together. You'll make a lower APR. You're not going to make as much pulse because they take a fee, and it's just better if you do it yourself. But this is liquid staking on PulseChain. All right, Zenith. We got Zenith in the house. What's up, dude? Validators have never been cheaper. That's right. You need 32 million pulse to run a validator. 32 million pulse. What is that today? 32. That is only $1,152. You know how much 32 Ethereum costs? Let's find out. 32 Ethereum costs $82,648. So, in 7-8 years, who knows? PulseChain might be somewhere around there. It might be a fraction of that. But if PulseChain does an 80x, it will also be that expensive. But you can get one for about $1,000 right now. You can buy one validator for just over $1,000. It wouldn't hurt to have a minimum of 32 million pulse. Just saying, guys. Just saying. But yeah, low volume, new bottom. Yeah, Daniel, that's the answer to that question. So you could either run your own node or wait until Project Pi comes out, projectpi.xyz, or vouch.run, vouch.run. If you don't make a video on it, that's my signal you disapproved. Oh man, come on, dude. I can't make a video on everything. You know how many projects are out there? There's 240 projects. Yeah, like, if I don't make a video on something, it's not that I disapprove. It probably is that I don't care about it much. But just because I don't care about it, I'm only one person's opinion. So get a whole bunch of opinions, make your own decisions too. But yeah, be careful of new stuff on PulseChain. PTGC for the win. PTGC continues to be one of the performing sub-communities. PTGC, this is the Grays currency. They airdropped me a little bit of UFO, so I've been watching the price. How's it going? The interesting thing about PTGC is when you compare it to PLS, it actually looks good, unlike most charts. Most charts compared to PLS have just been wrecked. PTGC, staying afloat, almost worth one pulse. It's a pretty nice ratio, 77% of a pulse. So maybe that 1-to-1 ratio will be somewhat of a magnet up here. We shall see. Shout out to the PTGC bros. Dashboard had an income tab is there. What? Dashboard had an income tab. Really? Huh. Where's the income tab? I don't see it. Oh, no, I'm not connected. My wallet's not connected. I don't think that's going to show me anything. Vouch is a fork of STAFI. S-T-A-F-I. STAFI is one of many. You've got, what else? Swell protocol. You've got Dinero, and you've got the, you've got all these different ETHs with all these different prefixes. You've got reserve.org making ETH staking derivatives and stablecoin derivatives. Lots of them out there. Vouch is a fork of STAFI. Thank you, Fast Abdul. Project Pi and Vouch coming out soon. I'm sure there will be good pulse-to-pulse farming options. Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait for that. You know how like on Aura, on Ethereum, you could pair WST ETH with like EETH. This might not make any sense to people. But yeah, you can actually pair your liquid staking derivative tokens with each other. Like Rocket Pool ETH is called RETH. So Rocket Pool ETH, if you buy some of that, you pair that with WST ETH, wrapped staked ETH from Lido, you can bond them together on Balancer, on Ethereum, stick it into Aura, and you'll be making like 15% APY, I think. It's pretty good. Degen protocol validator nodes, don't sleep. Oh yeah, sorry. There's one more way. Degen protocol validator nodes. Have these been working? Degen protocol. Degen protocol validator nodes. Basically, you can also buy validator node NFTs from Degen protocol in cahoots with David Feeder. Two OGs. I don't want to connect my wallet. Can I just see the NFTs? No. They're not going to let me see it, but basically Degen protocol. It's goat themed. Who doesn't like goats? Come on. It's goat themed. So, that's a good point. Degen protocol also has a way to run validator nodes. Do you do any ratio trading, Coffee? HEX is due to make a run against PLS. I'm unsure. You know, occasionally maybe I'll do a very occasionally, if it's very obvious, maybe I'll do a ratio trade. I was trying to make that decision earlier today. That's what I tweeted about. I was looking at the HEX to PLS ratio. It bottomed at 100. It topped at 250. Is that the range? Could PLS keep falling more? Of course it could. But it does look like, I do have to agree with you, it looks like it wants to make a run up. Looks like HEX wants to go up finally relative to Pulse. But it could just slosh around sideways. It could just, I don't know, it could just be a bunch of chop for a while too. What are your thoughts on the RH filing versus SEC tomorrow? I don't think, so I get a lot of my legal info from Nuclear Herbs on Twitter. Follow Nuclear Herbs on Twitter. My thoughts on the Richard Hart having to file papers, it's just basically, you know, it's just basically the process. It's just the legal process. I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy. Just both parties doing the thing that they have to do. The one thing Nuclear Herbs said is that you can get a read on it by analyzing the tone of the language, right? So you can look at what the SEC files versus what Richard Hart files. And if the SEC sounds angry, that probably means they're scared. You know what I mean? Anger is basically just another outlet for fear. Whereas, you know, if RH and his response signals confidence, you know, neutral tone, powerful, yeah, that's going to give you kind of a hint of who's got the upper hand here, who's got the better arguments here. You know, we'll see. Maybe we'll get to speculate on whether or not the SEC is regretting it, meaning their decision to sue Richard. I don't know. That'd be interesting. If PLS does anything other than a 1000x from ATL, can that be considered success given Solana and the other layer 1 numbers? Of course, dude. 1000x, of course. Not concern trolling either. Staked and day 1 sacker. Oh, anything other than a 1000x. Can that be considered a success? You got to give a time frame. You know what I mean? A lot of people are only thinking about one cycle. So, do you mean if it does anything besides a 1000x in 8 years? Sure, maybe that's not ideal. Is it reasonable to expect a 1000x in 2 years? Maybe. But then it's going to dip again in the next bear market. So you can say 1000x, but with no time frame, you know, anything can happen. So have a longer term time frame. I think hundreds of X's are on the table for this cycle. Whether or not it hits 1,000 on by year 8 or 9 or 10, If it never hits that in, let's say, 15 years, sure. Maybe it wasn't that great. But where else are you going to get 1,000x in 15 years? I really do think, other than meme coins and the occasional meme coin, right? I'm really talking about the occasional meme coin and the insiders that are typically dumping them on you. Typically. Other than some of these one-offs, a lot of crypto, a lot of altcoins, probably, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but the farther we get into the life cycle of cryptocurrency, like the farther we get into crypto as an asset class, the more mature it becomes, the more volatility gets squeezed out. So this might be like the last cycle where we're seeing 100x's, 1000x's on altcoins, on major altcoins, right? Because when they have their own ETFs, basically what the Fed can do is they can suppress the volatility. They can print money, they can open shorts on it, they can issue short ETFs, right? They can inverse ETFs of Bitcoin or Ethereum. So if there's a Solana ETF, oh, by the way, the SEC is investigating Solana now, I think. If there's a Solana ETF, the volatility could be gone, right? And when there's so much liquidity in some of these coins too, it really, really makes them harder to pump. So this could be the last really pure cycle of unaltered, purely on-chain, DEX only, 100x's, 1000x's on PulseChain. And I guess on, across all of crypto. Right now, the volatility is the feature, right? It's a feature, not a bug, they say. But eventually that's going to go away. And then people will still be getting excited because, yeah, you'll have a coin do like a double or a triple. But one day, the days of 100x, 1000x potential will be a thing of the past. I still believe it's possible. When you look at how low liquidity PulseChain is, and there's other altcoins out there. A lot of people are bullish on like Phantom, for example. Yeah, these things can do pretty big ROIs. Life-changing gains. But one day, the life-changing narrative will not be on the table anymore. Is that a crypto black sheep project? Yes, it is. David Feeder runs 45 of our nodes. Nice. Yes, in the first cycle, I don't know, man. It's a failure or a success is completely subjective, up to you. If you have enough money for a 10x to be successful to you, then you can say it's a success. Right? It really is personal. What do these things mean to the individual? But the more people that we get promoting it, shilling it, spreading the word, buying it, the easier it is to buy. Builders and marketers are going to be the deciding factor on how high we go. It's really the difference between a 10x and a 1000x is diffusion of responsibility. How much apathy do we have versus how much are people willing to spread the word? The unique thing about PulseChain is that every single person does something. Almost every single person, unless they're just a hater or like a little whiny baby or like a straight up detractor. People are tweeting about it. People are telling their friends. People are onboarding their friends and family. People are building cool projects. Other blockchains, other projects, you have to literally pay people off just to talk about it. It's the influencer playbook, the classic influencer playbook. See, most influencers in crypto, they have a term sheet. They literally have like a prostitute. Here are my prices, right? And so all these VCs and insiders can go to these, pick your generic influencer of crypto and pay them off to talk about something. Well, in PulseChain, it's all organic. People just talk about it because they like it. No one's being paid here, and that's why it is once in a lifetime, unlike anything else ever in crypto. GOAT and PLUSD will shine so hard. Coffee's got bags. No, I don't. I do not have a bag. I really don't have a bag of GOAT or PLUSD. I'm pretty sure PLUSD has like a... that one will never peg. But people have been memeing a lot of this stuff, guys. P-Dye to $1. I still got a little bag of P-Dye. Oh, that's funny. Coffee's a smart lad and a good-looking fella. He's loading up. He wants his fruits of labor. I'm loading up on PLS mostly. and HEX and PulseX and INC and the core coins. So thank you though. 1000x confirmed. Just drop the mic there. Boom. Yeah, all right, guys. 1000x. Hexagon from Bolivia here. Vamu. Hello. I am here for the tech. Of course you are, Fast Abdul. The tech and the bribes. That's all you ever want to talk about, isn't it? P-Die to 1,000. P-Die to $1,000. Let's ask the Magic 8 Ball. P-Die. Will P-Die peg to $1? Very doubtful. Ooh. Very doubtful. What do you think, guys? Is my Magic 8 Ball broken, you think? I think a penny is very doable. I'm going to be honest. I'll probably take some profit on P-Die when it hits a penny. I'll just tell you that right now. That'd be a 10x, right? Or maybe a 5x. I actually haven't checked the P-Die price in a while. Let's take a look. Die. We want P-Die. Here it is. Alright, it's about 0.17 of a penny. And it's been at this low point for a while. Interesting chart. Doesn't this P-Die chart almost look like the Bitcoin chart? It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just got these parabolic rises and these like classic patterns of, I mean, it almost looks like a crypto cycle. It looks like two crypto cycles compressed together in a very short time frame. Interesting. P-Die to $1,000. Hell yeah. Pamp it. Pamp my bags. We don't drink soy over here in PulseChain. Steak, eggs, and protein only. PLUSD. Dude, PLUSD, it's got like the mintability of it is so high because the units of PulseChain are so high. Like, it's all thrown out of whack. PLUSD. We've got homegrown PLUSD. We've got Liquid Loans Protocol and Earn Protocol, Flex Protocol. These are all just forks of Liquidity Protocol. I don't know, man. Hey, if you want to pump it, go ahead. You go ahead, bro. Good luck to you. There are guys. There's like this guy PRC Pantheon. I think he's dedicating like all of his time, and Hodlnomics. There's a lot of community members that donate or that spend a lot of time trying to either revive or spread a narrative for various PRC20 copies. I mean, PCRO is actually semi-popular, I think. I don't know if people are still into that. But when PulseChain forked, it forked the entire system state of Ethereum. And what that means is that all the coins that existed on Ethereum are just sitting there. So some people have decided to just pick them up and run with them. It's interesting. P-Die has obviously been the most successful. It went up 5,000x from the low because everybody thought, oh, a forked stablecoin, that's definitely not going to be worth $1. And now you've got a conspiracy theory that it could be worth $1. I don't know if I doubt that it's possible from a technical point of view, but never underestimate the power of a meme. The 8 Ball is clearly not a fan of P-Die. Yeah, I think mine's broken. Solid X for the win. Yeah, Solid X. It seems that the Fire Whale just sold a bunch of INC and bought a bunch of Solid X. Is the bottom in for Solid X? I don't know. Axis Alive would probably tell you he's excited about it. But I'm a little jaded by Solid X. I could have had a lot of money, and then I doubled down at the top like an idiot. So yeah, Solid X, something to look into. It's definitely not going anywhere. It's one of those things that it's captured enough attention, so people aren't just abandoning it like they do for most meme coins. Most meme coins get abandoned in 2 weeks or 2 months or less. Right? They pump for 2 weeks, and then 2 months later, no one ever talks about them ever again. That's how most meme coins go. But occasionally you've got these coins like, PTGC or Solid X or there's all kinds of them. There's the DeFi Liquid Loans, you got 2Fucks. You've got these other coins that actually either they have utility or they make yield or they've got communities and liquidity bonding and all this stuff. It's just people talking about it, right? You just need people. You need a community to not give up on the narrative. But watch out for people that just create a new shitcoin every 2 weeks, because that's how a lot of people make their money. They print a whole bunch of the coin for themselves, or they buy the coin as if it's a fair launch, right? But they're the first one that knows about the coin, so they buy a bunch of it, you know, as they're telling everyone else about it. And just being in the first 5-minute candle, you can make like a whole bunch of money that way by dumping on everybody else, by literally like screwing over 90% of the people. How many people are ready for 1,000 X's or ready to sell at the first double? We need stronger hands and minds. We do need stronger hands and minds, but the way that psychology works is that even though people tell themselves, oh yeah, the first time we get a double, I'm gonna sell it all, I'm done with this, right? That all goes out the window. It literally all goes out the window. When a green candle comes in and it does a double, you know what people start thinking? Damn, it's probably gonna do, if it could double that quickly, what if it does a 20x? I should buy more. That's how they think. People are very simple. That's how they think. So everyone's got a plan until the volatility comes in. PDI 4-month cycle confirmed. I swear, it looks like a mini Bitcoin cycle. MT Coiner, time for a new Magic 8 Ball. That thing is worn out. True MT Coiner. That's funny. Broken. The 8 Ball's a futter. Wind Island life, bro. I'll be back soon, Franklin. Don't you worry. I'll be hanging out with Franklin, and there's a lot of Hexicans and PulseChains over in Puerto Rico. Pretty cool. We're not super wealthy enough, but, you know, we're preparing in advance, right? Veritas the Awakened says, until it hits that flat line of $1 dizzle, lol. PTGC to $1. Yeah, that'd be insane. Good luck, PTGC, bros. Just a matter of time before P died to $1. The Orange Man Good meme has potential. Yeah, that's the one that, like, I actually made some money on OMG. OMG, I mean, every blockchain needs a Trump meme, right? Everybody needs a Trump meme. Honestly, if you look at Solana, if you look at Base, super oversaturated. The Trump memes, they're just so overdone, right? I made money on some Trump meme, but it was just like, it was called MAGA-A, M-A-G-A-A, Make America Great Again, Again. And I was like, oh, this is definitely a rug. And then it like 4x'd overnight. And now it's dead again. So like most of the Trump memes, people just keep making new ones. As far as I know, this is PulseChain's kind of only Trump meme. And I kind of like that. Like the more Trump memes that we have, the more, you know, all the attention gets split between all these Trump memes. So if people want to stick with OMG as the Trump meme on PulseChain, I can respect that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a meme coin, guys, with Trump's face on it. That's all it is. And yeah, I did make some money on Orange Man Good. I might actually try to make the next Vegas meetup. Who plans on going? I'm gonna go. I'll probably do a stream with SJ pretty soon. We're gonna talk about it. It's not till March, but what is that? 7 months away. You can get your tickets now. Go to pulsechaintour.com if you want to get your tickets. Hopefully, in 7 more months, we'll have something to celebrate, right? You think crypto will top out prior to global recession or after? Well, you could say we're already in a recession, or we already had a recession. You could say that because we had negative 2 quarters, negative declining GDP. I think crypto won't pump in a recession, right? But that's what we've been seeing. Is that I think we're on the exit end of a recession right now. I think money printers are going to get turned back on. Crypto is just going to go with the markets. It's not decorrelated, right? If there's a recession, crypto's going down too. Will we have some all-time high on Pulse, like final pump? When will we have all-time high on Pulse, like final pump? You guys are asking me to predict the future. You know, if I could do that, I don't think I'd be here right now. Well, when we... all-time high on Pulse, I don't know, end of 2025? Pulse isn't going to, like, die after one cycle, by the way. People start needing... I mean, I feel like I'm thinking on long-term horizons more than most people can fathom. But, yes, for one cycle, maybe 2025, 2026, early 2026. This time really could be different, right? Everyone talks about the 4-year cycle, but one of these days, the 4-year cycle is not going to be around anymore. One of these days, the 4-year cycle is going to be broken. So, you know, it's It's all good until it's not. I mean, this time really is different. We've got quantitative tightening. Crypto has never existed in a quantitative tightening environment. Bitcoin was literally made as a response to the 2008 financial crisis. In the very first Bitcoin block, there's a message encoded, which is a headline from a UK newspaper, that the central bank basically just bailed everybody out. It was Chancellor on the second brink of bailouts or something like that. So Bitcoin was a response to quantitative, or to the corrupt banking system, and has only ever existed from 2009 till about a year ago, 2 years ago, in QE. Now we've got QT because we printed way too much during COVID, and everything is suffering. Everything is suppressed. A lot of cryptos are. Thoughts on PulseX Pulse? Which will run the hardest in your opinion? Let me see. PulseX Pulse. This is a fun ratio. Everybody always wants to know, right? We've seen a lot of strength in PulseX relative to Pulse. We got up to less than 2 to 1, 0.6, right? But now we're sitting at right about 2 to 1 ratio again. About 0.52 pulse per 1 PulseX, which means on the inverse, 2 PulseX for every pulse. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go down again. Like, fundamentally, I think that there's just a lot more people that have PulseX. It's distributed between a lot more hands because the sacrifice phase was longer, 3 times as long. Like 3 times as many people got into it. So, I mean, just ballpark estimating, I wouldn't be surprised anywhere from a 2 to 1 ratio to a 3 to 1 ratio. Looks like we got rejected on the way up to parity. So, you know, I would not be surprised if PLS continues to be the more expensive coin relative to PulseX. And I can really see this hovering around a 2 to 1 ratio again for a while. But that's just a guess. There's no reason that it can't peg. But think about like people's life cycle. Think about the user journey when they're getting into PulseChain. You find out about PulseX after you find out about PulseChain. So it's just the natural progression anyway. And you find out about Pulse first. You have to buy Pulse for gas. And then you got all these other coins to buy. So for new users coming in, they're going to probably understand Pulse first. And you know, hopefully they buy a bunch of PulseX. I've got a big bag of PulseX. I hope everyone chooses to buy PulseX, but they could also choose to buy hundreds of other coins now. It depends who's yelling the loudest, really. Who's screaming from the rooftops. Now, PulseX to parity, PulseX Pulse to parity, I would love to see that. I just think it'll probably stick around maybe 2 to 1. Is there a single-sided staking for PulseX? Yes, there is on 9inch. Good call. app.9inch.io. So here we go. This is 9inch, the rock hard DEX. Rock hard. Go to staking, earn staking. And you can see single-sided staking on PulseX. The locked APR is only 1.6%. You know, it's better than 0. But if the price of BBC goes up, then the APR is going to go up too. And this is if you have it locked for the maximum. So if you lock it for the maximum of 32 weeks, you, or not 32, 52? I think if you lock it for a year, you max it out. And also if you have some 9inch staked, that will increase your APY on PulseX too. Single-sided staking, available right here. Also, oh, look at this. This is new. Single-sided staking on SolidX. And all their meme coins. BBC, PLD, WETH, PP. Oh, yeah. PP token. Great. The buy and burn will make us win. Yeah. The buy and burn, it is good. But nothing overpowers demand from new users. Right? At some point, buy and burn just becomes a narrative to attract new users when the hordes of people are coming in. I mean, yes, objectively, it does make PulseX more scarce. It does put permanent buy pressure on the price. But above all that, it makes a very compelling narrative for new people to get in because it's pretty simple to understand. You buy and you burn. All the volume going through PulseX goes to buying and burning the PulseX token itself. Automatically, no middleman. That sounds pretty good. So for new people coming in, if you like that idea, if you like that concept, a DEX token that actually has pumpamentals built into the system, decentralized, maybe you'll like to buy PulseX. A lot of people in the PulseChain ecosystem are very, very bullish on PulseX. If we go into a bear before we get a PulseChain ecosystem pump, I'll be buying harder than ever before. I don't know about that, but I mean, we'll do something. We'll do some kind of a pump. Nothing beats the fact that the OA is providing a magic carpet ride with 170k ETH. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to bet too heavy on all that ETH going in. But yeah, imagine that ETH does exactly, dude. Imagine the ETH price hitting 7 to 10k. Exactly. And it's not just going to be the OA buying. Like, think about all the other people with ETH that are just heavy into ETH right now because of the ETF. All that money is going to flow into alts once people want to go shopping. When people get a $10,000 ETH, right, and their net worth just tripled overnight, they're not going to be, they don't want the party to stop after that. They're not going to want the party to stop. They're going to be asking, hey, what's the next big thing? Oh, look at this PulseChain ecosystem. Maybe I can funnel, here's 50 ETH over there. They're going to spread their wealth around. They're going to go shopping. It's called the wealth effect. Does swapping into GoPulse help PulseX? It's linked, right? Yeah. If you're swapping on GoPulse.com, usually you're basically just buying from PulseX, unless there's a better deal somewhere else. But yeah, it sources from also 9inch, and it sources from, I think, I don't even know. I don't think it sources from Fux, but 9inch and SparkSwap. But the majority of the time, when you're going on GoPulse, it's routing through PulseX. There is a swap over here, guys. That's why GoPulse.com/coffee, link in description below, is your one-stop shop for everything. Look, you can buy Pulse from Change Now. You could swap it for anything you want. This is almost the same as PulseX, okay? There's a portfolio viewer. There's a coin viewer, any coin, any price. All kinds of statistics, anything you could ever need. Also, the HEX staking interface is now on here as well, so you can manage all of your HEX stakes. You can mint your Hedron, all from one website. GoPulse.com/coffee. It's like your one-stop shop, guys. You can kind of do everything you need to do from this one website, as long as you have a crypto wallet. I like internetmoney.io and MetaMask. Here's internetmoney.io. Netmoney.io. So if you get the app, Google Play, Apple App Store, Chrome Web Store, they've got their own tokens, so you can make a portion of the fees that go through the wallet. But this guy KG is working hard. One of the hardest workers in the whole space. A lot of people are working hard, though. I shouldn't say there's just one. Black paper audits. I mean, look, it's been out for a while. It works great. I have it. Maybe you want to use MetaMask as your cold wallet and Internet Money as your hot wallet. Not the worst idea. Is Piteus Exchange better to swap between coins? Yes, Piteus is better. Here, Piteas.io. For new people watching, if you're wondering on PulseChain how to get the best deals on coins, Piteas, Piteas.io. Go to launch app. And this is kind of like 1inch, but it's very simple, right? It's a DEX aggregator. So when you try to exchange one coin for another coin, right? Let's say I want to buy 1 million of these, million pulse worth. Look down here, look at the route. Let me pick a more complicated coin. So if I want to exchange $36,000 of pulse for stable coins, rather than having to only route through PulseX, you're going to get a better deal because it's going to send your money through PulseX and through Fux and all these different liquidity pools, and it's going to optimize the number of coins that you get on the other side. It's very useful for stablecoin swaps. It's very useful for large. If you're trying to exchange, $10,000, $20,000 and above, you definitely want to make sure and check on Piteus that you're getting the best optimal route for your orders. Depending on the case and ETH price, bro. Yep. The case and the ETH price, they matter. They matter a lot. All right. Can I give a conservative price prediction, both Pulse and PulseX, December 2024? How about back at sack rate? Jesus, I would just take back at sack rate at this point. I'd be happy about that. That'd be 3x from here. Internet Money has its own DEX aggregator as well. That's true. What else? Any other questions? Oh man, I've been going for an hour and 24 minutes. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. The dev Alex has built a new protocol supposedly around Hedron. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of time, but he is building something new. All right, everybody. Like the video, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Really, all that stuff takes a minute, helps PulseChain go viral. Support content creators out there, guys. There's a lot of new content creators. Zenith is one of them. There's tons of people in the chat that have been on videos or been on live streams before. Everything you do matters. I've been thinking to myself too, like long form content or short form content. Because part of I'm wondering, you know, I can make all these TikToks, I can make all these YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, but what kind of person is that attracting, right? Am I just attracting like a Gen Z retard with ADHD? But you know, at the same time, you can't ignore short form content because that's the funnel to your long form content. So everybody scrolls, everybody doom scrolls, but I also get the feeling, this is just an intuition, I don't know if this is true, it seems like it'd be true. It seems like rich people or successful people or entrepreneurs or anybody that's successful in life, it seems like they would not have time to be doom scrolling. It seems like they'd be a good manager of their time, and thus they'd probably have more money. So I'm starting to think that live streams and long form content matters to, I mean, it appeals to potentially people with bigger bags, people with more money. It's just a thought that I was throwing around earlier, but it doesn't mean that I shouldn't do short form content. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do short form content, because you need this stuff to be plastered everywhere to create an illusion of ubiquity. Okay, so when people see PulseChain, HEX, Bitcoin, Ethereum, when they see it in multiple places on different media, from different influencers, different people, different content creators, whatever you want to call them, they get the sense that, oh, this is a universal thing. This is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. So, I mean, we're much more powerful in numbers, whether you're making short form or long form. I think I might start sticking to long form and then just chopping that up and just spitting that out as short form. That's my 2 cents on where I'm at in content creation, you know? Just a thought. Long form content is brilliant, right? That's another thing too. That's what Richard did for like 5 years before he made HEX. He was just long form content. 2-hour live streams, 3-hour live streams. The guy had like an 8-hour live stream one time. So when you build up that much rapport with people, you're going to have a hardcore fan base if you want to do anything. If you want to launch a coin. I mean, if a lot of people worked as hard as Richard did, you know, before they started a coin, or just during, you know, you can start whenever you want to. You build up rapport, people start to know you, like you, trust you, because they feel like they've spent hours with you. So, all right, just thinking out loud, guys. I'm going to get going. I'm actually going to go make some TikToks, but I'm not going to spend too long on it. I think it's all good. I agree with you on successful people in long form. Yeah. Well, thanks for the feedback, guys. Crypto7 does a great job. Yes, he does. Guys, we've got so many content creators. I'll just do one shout out to all the content creators. PulseChain content creator map. Images. Well, I can't find it. Anyway, shout out to all 150 of you guys out there making videos, and thousands more on Twitter. And, you know, try out new platforms as well. TikTok. I know we got El Hexadente. We got superhex.win on TikTok. Instagram, pretty untapped. The only guy I know over there is Miguel, Dollar Cost Crypto. Dollar Cost Crypto has been on killing it on Instagram more than anybody else in crypto that I really know. I mean, typically Instagram is for different niches, not crypto, but he's doing well with crypto. I mean, Reddit. Reddit's kind of like the blind leading the blind, though. Reddit's kind of like retard town. And well, for crypto, not for everything. But see those TikTok dances, Coffee. I want to hear them knees cracking. God damn. If you ever see me do a TikTok dance, just kill me. Good one, Coffee. Hey, all right, thank you guys. My rant is over. Like, subscribe. Oh my God, you had to give me a tip. I was just about to leave. Join the Camel Clan. It is like the Tang Gang for Chads. All right, camel token launching soon. SMH my head. SMH my head. Fuck Reddit, bro. Bunch of retards. Yeah, I agree. I found that Reddit is largely very anti-crypto. Well, yeah, they're full of soy, right? And the cryptos that they do like even in our cryptocurrency, they say you're only allowed to talk about certain cryptocurrencies. It's like, this is supposed to be the Reddit subreddit for all of cryptocurrency. And you're saying I can't talk about CRO token. I can't talk about HEX token. I can't talk about what, they're just, they're a little special over there. They're a little regarded. Highly, highly regarded over on Reddit. I'm Clarence Claymore. So fun. All right, thanks for the 1,000 huff. I'm going to go huff that later. Rug pull within 10 minutes. What are we talking about? All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Hang in there. Hang in there. Better times ahead. Better times ahead.